Hi, I'm Wesley. I'm from the Yo Bros Ministry, and I've been a Christian since I was 18.
So Wesley, what was your understanding of Jesus and faith before coming to church?
I had a really bad impression of maybe not Jesus, but Christianity. But of course, that then affected like my view of Jesus and my view of God. Growing up, I felt that the examples I knew were quite hypocritical, or maybe they just weren't good examples lah. But aside from that, there's a lot of social media content that I see that shows, I guess, the negative side of Christianity. And as I see those kind of content, be it about hate or greed, mostly revolving these two, hate and greed, then it painted a really warped picture and perspective of what Christianity is and who Christians are. And because of that, then Jesus and God.
So what changed? What changed that made you a disciple?
I came to church because of a girl. Yeah, I was not seeking God, man. I was not seeking God at all. I basically came because I wanted to chase someone. So I came very reluctantly, but it was the first time in a church where I felt welcome, which was something very special to me because having been to other churches, I always felt out of place. I always felt quite unwelcomed and the environment felt cold. But my first time in Central Christian Church, I felt a sense of warmth and love, and I felt like people were genuinely interested in my life. So that was like, whoa, like a new experience. And the first sermon, I remember Chen Yang preached the first sermon to me. I roughly remember what it was, but as a non-Christian and as someone who didn't really believe in God, I felt like it was actually a very good practical sermon that I could apply in my own life. So on two accounts, in terms of like the members and the message, both were new to me and both were a positive experience for me. So I guess that made it easier to come back. And I still liked her lah, so I continued. I guess what changed is studying the Bible and actually reading the Bible for what it is and what Christianity is supposed to be, who Jesus and God truly was. That helped me to have like a more correct understanding of the Bible and Christianity.
Could you share a point in time when you truly felt the weight of Jesus' sacrifice for you?
I would say, aside from the Bible study where my mentor taught me about sin and the cross and forgiveness and love, it would be somewhere further down in my Christianity that I came across this verse and this passage in Isaiah. In Isaiah 53, as I studied out that book and the more I read about the Old Testament, I had a clearer understanding of what sin was, why I am sinful, and how it separates me from God, and how that there's nothing that I could do to atone for it. And knowing this gave the cross a bigger impact in my life. It gave a bigger meaning, and it helped me to be more grateful for it. I would say the more I understand about this, the more clearer and deeper my knowledge of the Bible is and who God is and what He has done for me. It compels me to live a different life from what I used to live, and it compels me to live a life that hopefully glorifies Him. And when I think about glorifying Him, I think about living as a good example of what Christians should be. So doing my best to live a good example, but also living my life in a way that draws people to me and in doing so draws people to God, to want to know more about Him, to want to know more about the community that I'm in, and to want to know more about why I live the way that I live. I guess as I mature, I switched from being very direct and very like, hey, you want to come church? Hey, you want to come this? Hey, you want to come that? Hey, you want to do this? To something more personal and something more felt. I thought about if I was a stranger, or maybe if I was friends with someone, and all I hear is him just like preaching to me, would I be interested? Would I be curious about this? Or would I be turned off? And I would be turned off lah. So then I started to change my approach, and I decided, you know what? I want them to know God, but am I even a good example for them to want to know God? And that made me look more inward and to change my life from within. And instead of being preachy now, I do my best to live a life that is loving, where I do my best to show my care and my concern to my friends. And hopefully they feel it, hopefully they feel loved, hopefully they feel cared for, and hopefully that inspires them to want to know why my life is different, or why this person is different from their other friends. I guess for those who don't know God, my advice would be to ask your friends. I'm sure that they have friends that they love and friends who love them equally, and perhaps some of these friends are Christians. And the best way would be to ask them to show an interest, or to come to church and find out more.